welcome to SEDES English. My name is Eric, and today we're learning how to use there is and there are. So we use there is and there are to talk about something that exists, or something that is true, or something that is real. And there's two options you can use: is and are after the there. So there is or there are. And you use there is whenever you want to talk about a singular thing or just one thing. And you say there are when you want to talk about more than one thing. So two or more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As many as possible. So again, there is a singular, there are a plural. So we're to go through examples of positive, negative, and question. And the same thing for the there are of positive, negative, and question. So we'll start here. So you see here we have a single apple, or one apple. So we'll write a sentence using positive, talking about a single apple. And the same thing for negative and question. So positive, we'll start with there. That means it exists, right? Like it's something that's real. There is an apple on the table. There is an apple on the table. So again, we use is because it's a single apple, one apple. Now, let's do negative. We do the same thing there, but instead of saying regular is, the negation of is would have to have a not after it. So you can say there is not, or you can use a contraction of isn't. There isn't, or there is not an apple on the table. There is not, or again, you can say isn't an apple on the table. Now for the last one, I have a question. So these can be answers to the question that we're going to write next. So for the question, you change it just a little bit. The first thing you do, instead of saying there is on the question, you want to put the is at the beginning. So you say, is there an apple on the table? So you're asking the question, is there an apple on the table? Is there one apple on the table? And we'll just draw something. We'll draw that being a table. So is there an apple on the table? If the answer is yes, positive, you say there is an apple on the table. If it's negative, there is not or isn't an apple on the table. So next we're going to go to plural, are. So over here I have some grapes, a little vine of grapes. So, you get grapes in a little bag or a bundle, and they come on the little vines. And there's always there's plenty of grapes, or a lot of grapes on this vine. So we'll use sentence again, starting with positive, then go to negative, then write a question. So we'll say the same beginning, there are grapes on the table. And I'll go ahead and draw a table here. So there are grapes on the table. Now for the negative, we start off with there at the beginning. Then we do what? There are, and after the are, we put what? Right, here's where we have the negation of the negative. There are not, but it's more common to say there aren't, to use the actual contractor. So we'll go ahead and do that. There aren't grapes on the table. And similarly, or very similarly to this, how we switch the is and the there, we'll switch the are and the there. So here for the question, the first word we're going to write is are. Are there, and again remember, there just means that it exists or it is true, it's real. Are there grapes on the table? And question mark. Are there grapes on the table? And the answer, of course, for this one would be positive. There are grapes on the table, just like it is at the beginning. But we have grapes on the table, so the answer is there are grapes on the table. And if it's not, if they're gone, the question you're asking, are there grapes on the table? The answer would be no. There aren't or are not grapes on the table. So the main focus is either the subject or the things you're talking about in the actual sentence. If there's only one, or if they're multiple, if they're plural, if they're more than one. So if there's only one, you use is. If there's more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you use are. So that is it. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I hope to see you soon in class.